Dnipro. Luke, what message is Russia trying to send here?
Well, what we know is that 2 missiles were fired at the city on Wednesday evening around about 8 p.m. The governor told us that one was intercepted by air defences, where the second managed to strike rail infrastructure close to a bridge in the city centre. There was little warning with no sirens going off. The new element there is that it seems to have been the city centre that was targeted. Now, we were here at the time. We felt, first of all, the crump of the explosion as the windows rattled rather strongly in their frames. And as I looked up, there was the column of smoke rising from the middle of the city, about 3 kilometres from where we are now. Now, it would seem to send a clear message. We've seen the Russians doing this, attempting to try and stop the flow of Western weapons east, and they are trying to prevent that from continuing with these repeated strikes that we've seen in recent days on infrastructure across Ukraine. We saw it in Odessa with the strikes on the airport. We saw it in the Zatoka bridge near the western border, and we've seen it in other towns as well. That does seem to be the message that we can take from all this.
And Luke, how important is Dnipro strategically?
Well, Dnipro is the Ukraine's third city, and it does have an extremely important role to play. It sits on a crossroads, as it were. It's very close to 3 fronts, both north, east and south. To the north, you have Kharkiv. To the east, you have Donbass, and the southern front itself is just 50 kilometers away from the city. Now, it's this logistical crossroads that makes it, in terms of bringing in supplies for the Ukrainian military. The mayor would not confirm whether or not weapons were flowing through. He would not confirm so directly, but he did say that any flow of weapons would, at this point, be impossible to stop. Despite these repeated hits on Ukrainian infrastructure, they were still going to be making their way east and into the hands of the troops fighting the Russians. Now, elsewhere, there is a humanitarian importance to Dnipro as well. Being on this crossroads, it's been taking in the displaced who are fleeing from other areas under bombardments in the east, south, and the north, and it has a symbolic importance to the Russians in particular. It was Catherine the Great that founded the city during the time of the Russian Empire, making it the third city, the third capital of the Russian Empire in the south after Moscow and St. Petersburg. And there is all reason to think that it will have this important role to play in events to come. That's why the city authorities have been continuing to build fortifications. 4 lines of defense have already been constructed, ready to prepare to handle the Russian troops.